Welcome back to My Sports Compendium, where I take a look at some moments in sporting history and bring them to life through cards, stickers and tickets. This is part of the Premier League series, where I take a look at each season of the Premier League and draw attention to one episode or moment within it. Now, Newcastle United had been on the cusp of something great in the mid-1990s. Under Kevin Keegan, they'd managed two consecutive runners-up finishes in 1995-1996 and 1996-1997. They had a team full of style and panache. However, they were accused of being naive in matches and having a soft underbelly. Temuri Ketsbaia, this sticker, his portrait sticker from the Merlin Premier League 98 sticker album for the season, he'd been signed to add some additional steel to the Toon midfield, but things hadn't been going to plan. Keegan's replacement, Kenny Dalglish, had initially overseen some strong performances and results, but by the time 1998 came around, the rot had truly set in and frustration was rife amongst the fans and the squad. Temuri Ketsbaia shared that frustration. He's smiling here and he's smiling in this postcard-sized card released by Merlin, which shows him pretty happy and celebrating a goal. I actually forgot about these cards, but people might disagree and that's fine, but I remember them being pretty much as popular as cards and stickers back in the day, and you could get a pack of these for 99p, and I'd get a pack often with my sticker album. Ketsbaia was a tough tackling midfielder, and he'd been signed on a free transfer in the summer from Greek side AEK Athens, and things to be honest had started rather well. He'd scored a last gasp equaliser for a crucial draw that made the score 2-2 in the Champions League qualifier against Croatia Zagreb, and that ensured Newcastle progressed to the Champions League group stage. They were knocked out in the group stage, but that wasn't before this memorable match at St James's Park and a 3-2 win over Barcelona with a Faustino Asprilla hat-trick. If Ketsbaia's intervention hadn't have occurred, Newcastle wouldn't have made it there. But unfortunately, things weren't really going very well in the Premier League. By the time Bolton Wanderers arrived in Newcastle on January the 17th, 1998, Newcastle were in something of a crisis. Now, I'm not one for the premature sacking of managers, but it's hard to imagine Kenny Dalglish surviving for so long in the cold and unforgiving light of the modern day. Newcastle, they're a team that were expected to challenge for the title at the beginning of the season, and they were on this rotten run where they were winless in 8 when they'd only picked up 2 points in that period. Ketsbaia was getting increasingly upset that despite this poor run of form, he still wasn't managing to get in the starting lineup, which he felt that he merited. Newcastle were coming into the Bolton fixture off the back of 4 consecutive defeats, and Ketsbaia still found himself on the bench. It looked as if Newcastle's luck might be turning when John Barnes scored early on in the 6th minute, but they were pegged back in the 72nd minute by a Nathan Blake equaliser. Immediately, Kenny Dalglish responded by putting star striker Alan Shearer on, a Shearer that was returning from a very, very long absence with a cruciate ligament injury. And 7 minutes after that, Ketsbaia, a quietly seething Ketsbaia, entered the pitch for John Dahl Thomason. In stoppage time, the ball fell to Ketsbaia and he made no mistake in planting a crucial winner into the net. There was this considerable release of emotion from him, to put it lightly. Now, although we have known footballers to kick out at the board, we generally haven't seen it quite so literally. No longer quietly seething, Ketsbaia, so incensed at his lack of minutes, ripped his shirt off and ran over to the advertising hoardings and proceeded to kick the living hell out of them repeatedly. His teammate, Alessandro Pastoni, tried to calm him down, but it was pretty much all to no avail, and it was fair to say nobody really expected this response, which had gone down in Premier League folklore. And I really hope that the owner of this ticket didn't leave early to avoid the traffic, as he would have missed out, or she would have missed out on one of the most incredible moments in Premier League history. When I first started collecting tickets, this is one of those, I sort of wrote this list of every sort of moment that I could think of that I really would like, and then about a year after this ticket became available, and then I was so pleased to add it to my collection, because it's just one of those moments that, in addition to, you know, all the fantastic goals and amazing, you know, skills and things like that, this is up there for me as one of the iconic Premier League moments. And I just love the fact that I've got this ticket. It's quite interesting when considering Ketsbaia's response to the incident in the modern day, as he's described it as the worst possible time to score a goal because his emotions were running so high. He's also said in an interview with the Newcastle Chronicle in 2022 that every time I meet somebody new, they mention it. I believe I had a better career and did better things than just that celebration. That's why I don't like talking about it. I played in the Champions League for Newcastle and in the FA Cup final. There are so many better days to talk about than that. And these feelings can be hard to reconcile within ourselves, especially looking through, if we try and look at it through a lens of sympathy. Imagine how many significant events make up our lives and our careers. Ketsbaia is a man that has had and is still having an incredible, successful career in on the coaching side now, and I can empathise with his frustration on the basis of being caricaturised by an incident less than a minute long in 1998. He's built up this huge body of work, and I completely see it. But at the same time, although it may now be a point of huge personal shame for him, I only wish that he could remodel it in his own mind. It's given football fans so much joy, and what's more, like what I said in the Keegan episode in April '96, with his "I'll love it" rant, it just shows so much passion. Ketsbaia was a footballer that was being paid a huge amount of money, yet he still desperately wanted to play. The money was secondary to that desire to play and that burning need to be on the football pitch. An important goal such as this can most likely lead to this huge emotional release and a surge of adrenaline that a mere mortal such as myself has probably never experienced. Footballers have the spotlight put on them in this white and black hot cauldron, and when they have moments such as that, I can understand the loss of oneself. In fact, I admire it. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. You may also wish to check out some of the other videos in this Premier League series, and I will look at some other memorable celebrations in due course and some infamous celebrations. But to be honest, there are none that I enjoy quite as much as Temuri Ketsbaia's. Okay, bye-bye.